Our next speaker, it's probably somebody is representing an organization that probably has touched our hearts at one point, the hearts of every single person that is here. At least it was a very important part of my youth. And just recently, we kind of connected through different types of networks. And I'm glad that you were able to respond and tell your story. And the story is the National Scout Organization and their contribution to the open innovation ecosystem. Please, Tadej.
Thank you. Thank you. Tadej Pugelj, Scout Association of Slovenia, Zveza tabornikov Slovenije. I think that there are many of you who don't know just the name, but you were probably on some scout camp or some scout activity. So I'm a bit proud as well to be invited here. Usually we are doing things in the forest. Now we are here in the big national institution. So my story would be how actually the National Scout Association do some further step in the innovation. And this might be also a good suggestion for our colleagues in Austria, because you have Pfadfinders who are actually the ones who are seeking for the good path. So I believe that this is in a way how we do it and how we try to find the new ways, and of course innovations goes along with. Our Scout Association is actually quite big, with a tradition, so sometimes the tradition also means a lot of obstacles. We have 80 scout groups around Slovenia. We have around 10,000 members, and in the previous time we were quite satisfied with that. So we didn't need anybody to associate with or to actually have any relation. That was actually some year ago when we start to think about what we should do further on, particularly because we are also members of the World Organization of Scout Movement, and in a way we adopt a new strategy which gives us a new path in creating a better world. So to have some action not only within the scouting, but to have the community outreach, to go out of scouting, not to operate only in the forest, but as well in our society in general. So we, in a way, follow this idea. We try to think, and we really go through the thinking process. And as we see that, in a way, a mission of scouting, which is to have an influence, that it is a movement, and there are values behind what we are doing, we should really do something for the society and to do some moves in the society, in the wider society, not just thinking about having scarf and doing things in the forest. So we've found out within this wording a lots of things about the education. So we believe that and of course when we have the contacts with the older members, they always say us, we got a lot of lifetime skills. So not just we didn't learn, but we actually gained the skills for the living. So the scouting is a way of living. And when we think about this educational role, we try to see how to really do some innovations in that area. So we went through the process when we took our logo. You can see the forest around. We said, okay, the tent should be the place where we all meet together. And so we took the tent, we give an energy to this tent, and we do the project called Edu Akcija, which is Edu Action. So it's a playing with the words education, Edu Action. So because we are the organization where our main way of learning is learning by doing, we think about that the Edu Action could be the right word for our project. So we established a network of the NGOs for the purpose of developing lifelong learning ideas within the non-governmental sector, but even wider, because I heard a lot of similar words in the previous presentations, which are unique or common for ourselves as well and our project. So we said that we should adopt a new paradigm to change the behavior, and the first and the very important thing was to share the knowledge. So actually not to compete with other people and other organizations as well, but to share our knowledge for the others. In that case, we learn from each other. If we share, then we believe that the others will share too. So it's no competition anymore. In particularly, that was quite unique for the past for the NGO sector. So sharing our knowledge, learning from each other's, making sustainable partnerships so that we actually really could work as a partners within the non-governmental sector, but as well wider. So developing the dialogue with other stakeholders as well. It was several times mentioned, this multiculture of stakeholders, and that we should all sit in the same room. So we strongly believe that this is really important. And by all these things, to create really an open learning society where the knowledge is actually what is really important for all of us. And finally, the results are greater awareness, the recognition of non-formal learning, the facilitation of the changes in the educational system, and the promoting lifelong learning competencies, which foster the civil dialogue. And that's why we are happy that the European social funds are also supporting us in developing this idea. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very encouraging and very important that the NGOs realize that they have to connect. We have to connect. That's a very powerful message. Thank you, Tadej.